Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Cosmic Crucible. Yes, 2 in 1 week. What are the odds? In today's video, though, we're going to be doing a little bit of a compilation, I suppose. Some of this is going to be footage from my Trial 3, and then a lot of it's actually going to be some clips that were submitted to me from my alliance, from other followers, and I kind of want to go over some of these, which I thought was really cool, particularly we're still kind of going at the what we call the budget cabal, because I think it's actually really strong. I'm actually super impressed with what they just kind of do just for being on the table. And so I want to look at some of these that I was able to see and also do with mines, particularly room number 2. We'll talk about that. So if you're ready to go, everybody, well, let's boil this down. Okay, so we're going to start off with something from me. Now, this happened in my Trial 3 here today, and I know what you guys are thinking. They're all dead. All of my Cabal characters are dead. Yes, they are dead. This is the Room 2 raid room with Extreme X-Men and Rogue. Now, yes, I do have a very powerful Kang. However, it's 1.3 million versus 2.85 million. It is a 1.5 million punch-up. And they all have diamonds. They're not even farmable yet. They got a 3 diamond Gambit. Okay, so do I. And then there's a 1 diamond Sunspot. I'm surprised he's only 286k for 1 diamond. Like, I guess he's only level 90. And then we have a 2 diamond Nightcrawler. Holy shit. And a 2 diamond Forge. Like, absolute insane. And a 3 diamond Rogue. Like, they really love their X-Men. And I was able to beat this. Yes, I took some damage, actually quite a lot of damage. But the fact that I was able to do that, and Budget Cabal was able to elevate Kang to the levels to be able to do this, still, it was, I wasn't sure if we'll watch the footage here. I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to make it, but what I did not have, I finally got leader, by the way. You remember, because I was talking about how I missed out on 5 shards of leader. So I did unlock him for Trial 3. I bumped him up to G14. I got the T4s on the passive, and I did not get the T4s on the special, and I'm kind of regretting that now. Wasn't sure if I actually needed it, so I'm going to put this on to 2x. It's got the offense down here, unfortunately. I don't quite remember why is that happening? Why am I getting offense down? There's something in the room, I think. Maybe? Anyways. So, luckily, Kang did not... I mean, what I could have seen things go badly is that Kang got stunned there, but luckily he did not. And so we're going in, and I wanted to get rid of Forge. Maybe this wasn't the wisest move. I did the special over there, and we ended up killing Sunspot surprisingly fast. Forge is not dead. We go in with the Namor ultimate, which drains some of their speed bar, which is fine. Fortunately, the Gambit pings with offense up because Sunspot's there is really... It killed Iron Patriot, right? And then there goes Forge. And so at that point, like, I was happy, kind of, and then we're going in with the Kang ult. Again, lots of turns for Kang. And that did a lot of damage too. It didn't quite kill them. They're really beefy. But I was able to... I'm pretty sure the Striker kills Gambit, the follow-up attack, so that's fine. He's kind of dead. How the others die, though, it's actually Nightcrawler. Like, at this point, I thought I was going to win with 4 people still up. But it's the fact that my Cabal characters just do not have very much hit points. So you're going to see right here, this is where I probably should have had my T4s on the leader. Like, that was a 1.7 million ult. Probably a crit. I think it was a crit. Like, absolute insane. So, really unfortunate that the one ult just, like, wiped all of them. But I was also really happy that I was able to utilize these characters to do such an insane punch-up with what I dubbed the Budget Cabal. G14, 15 kind of range with leader. So that was really cool. And I think that a lot of people we're starting to see, being able to use that. So if you don't want to... By the way, G14 only cost me 6.5 million, I think, investment in each of the characters. At least for, I think they're all about the same. I think they're all about 75 G14. And I think it costs, with the ability upgrades and the gear and the levels, comes to about 6.5 million gold. So about 20 million for the 3 of them. Which is a lot cheaper than 60 to 70 million, depending on how much investment you're putting into them, if you max them out, right? Like 20 to 25 million per character. So that's why I called the Budget Cabal. Because, as you guys know, I'm using my gold for a lot of other things right now, and so I'm still getting a lot of value out of them. Fortunately, they're dying when I'm doing this massive punch up, but still, I'm personally still getting value, and a lot of other people are too. So let's move on to the next clips. Actually, before we do really quick get to the other clips, I just wanted to point this one out. This was a room one that I was actually afraid of going into. So they really screwed up their ISOs on this one. But what I thought was actually potentially really good is Agent Coulson with a skirmisher ISO because he goes fast, or he goes first, but usually first because of Nick Fury. And so that allows him to, alt first and then potentially land a bunch of ability blocks on a lot of characters. So I think it was probably a misstep here that he was not a skirmisher. Maybe they left the rooms. I'm not sure. But I would be interested if somebody tried this next week with Agent Coulson as a skirmisher ISO and see if he lands ability block on everyone, because that could be potentially crippling. Now, this is something that I want to share, but I also want to warn people about. I've been seeing this go around, and this was posted in my Discord channel by user Zano. All right, and this is another one that I want to share with you guys. This one's a little bit sketchy. So this one was shared with me by username Dano in my Discord server, but also I believe it was shared in Dorky Dad's channel, and so this was really interesting, but it's very hard to get right. So in this, you're seeing a Black Order killing a Bifrost team. And a lot of how this is done is through Thanos' flipping of the regenerations into bleeds and them dying, more or less. The problem is that it doesn't work very well if there's a G18 or very high level Sylvie, and if she's a raider. So I tried replicating this 3 times, in fact, on my trial 2, and I was not able to get it to work. If Sylvie is a raider, because of the way that things go, she does eventually get to her ult, and it has a chance of killing your characters outright, like through the death proofs, because of the additional attack that the Raider ISO does. And so that becomes a problem. And the reason why I think this did work is because she didn't have Raider. I want to show you, though, how that went down. So unfortunately, I have the clip here starting at, I guess there was some damage taken. It looks like what I think happened was that Thanos did a basic into probably over here somewhere, because he's gotten exposed, which means that Vol did a counterattack. And then we have the Thanos here flipping all of the buffs. Honestly, surprised that he's got the focus to do it, but he does. And he flips all of them. You can see all the bleeds across the screen. Yeah, I mean, that seems like more bleeds than when I tried to do it. I tried to do this myself, and I managed to get them down to about 50% or so based on the bleed damage. I believe the bleed damage is based on the regenerations and not actually Thanos' stats. But, feel free to correct me in the comments down below. And you're going to see Sylvie going with the ult. Now, normally that would just ping the death proofs, right? And they're pretty much at death's door. In fact, some of them don't even have death proofs anymore. Corvus doesn't. This is where, on my attempt, I died. A lot of my characters just died. They were at like 1 HP. But the Raider ISO pinged through the death proofs and eventually killed them. And I guess with this version, Sylvie has a striker. Okay, so at this point, Thanos gets a shit ton of turn bar because everyone's being damaged. That's just part of his kit. And then right there, a regular Loki died. But then Vol is getting a special there. Ends up killing Corvus Glaive. More turn bar to Thanos. And then you see an ult, which kills Sylvie, and actually does a fair bit of damage to Beta Ray Bill, because they got defense down, but Vol's not dead yet, so that's a small concern, right? They just ended up bleeding out, which was quite surprising. It was about a 2 million Bifrost team, though, and luckily, Vol hit into Cull, so it didn't really do that much. And then I guess the combination, it was still kind of sketchy a little bit, but I guess they ended up killing it there. So, interesting attack. I don't personally recommend trying this because, like I said, there's a lot of nuances to it, and I tried it 3 times. And I basically threw my trial 2 to try to get this to work, and it didn't. So let me know in the comments down below if you've had any luck with this, because I think maybe I'm just not doing it right. But if you've done this and tried it and got it to work, please let me know how you did it, because I would be curious if other people are doing this, because a lot of people are talking about how tough it is sometimes to kill Bifrost. And this made it look really easy, but I don't think it's that easy. Now, the next one that I want to show you is another budget Cabal usage here. Now, this one I think is really interesting. Again, we're just using Kang and Titania, but in this instance, they're going up against Super Skrull and 3SD in room number 1 with Kingpin. Yeah, that was a little bit of a weird one, but I think the idea was to force the taunt on those characters. So we're going to take a look at a short clip of that one as well. So this clip here is by A Street from My Alliance. I just want to share. Oh, let's go back. I want to share this version of it and how fast this ends up killing Super Skrull without even needing a Super Skrull. So right off the bat, just to pause it really quick, everyone's got vulnerabilities. You can see that actually he's forced into specialing on the bodyguard, but luckily there should be a follow-up attack there, and then that ends up killing him there as well. And I believe, I mean, he must be a striker. So then we have a second turn, and he goes in with the ability block on Miss Marvel so that she doesn't do the taunt and things like that. And then we have, of course, Iron Patriot there. He's going in there, doing things. And then the vulnerabilities, but also the trauma is a huge thing. So Super Skrull can't shake things off when he starts to take damage. Defense down is really big as well. Getting the assist from Namor, which is crazy. And then the Namor is going to go before Super Skrull can do his stuff, right? So that's all pretty crazy too. And he's going to turn bar rewind. I believe it's 50%. I mean, or whether or not he has the T4s or not. I don't know, 40 or 50%. And then we're going to get basically Kang to go again. We got the Kang assist, in fact. So that one was pretty crazy too. And then Kang takes his other turn and then basically wipes the field. There was one turn by Ghost Rider Robbie. Otherwise, an alt that just basically wrecked everyone. I'm surprised actually Iron Patriot got 2 turns this time around. But nonetheless, just absolutely demolishes. Just it goes to show that like how crazy some of these teams are. And just look again. It's like they're like 85k. Well, okay, Namor's a little bit higher, but still like leader's like 90k, Patriot's like 86k. And yes, Kang is very large. But the fact is that A367 is an insane score for using a budget Cabal, and I think it's amazing. Now, we have another one here from A Street as well. This one is from a different trial. This is Budget Cabal, Kang Titania versus Sus Hold in room number 4, scoring an 8368. And I just want to kind of share that. It's probably going to go the same way. You're going to go with the ability block this time, though, on Super Skrull because there's no tanks immediately at the beginning. And then, boom, go into... Surprisingly, he did not primary target into Skrull. He primaried into Doctor Strange, outright killing him. And then we're getting down to 50%. Unfortunately, he shook off the debuffs. But then we should be getting the trauma again there. We got the defense down and the trauma over there on a Super Skrull. He might take a turn this... Oh, no, because then we have Namor, I forgot. Namor in the turn bar rewind. And he's got slow, which is a pretty big deal, which means that hopefully Kang should be going in front of Super Skrull there. And then he's going to get his ult, I think, there. We got another ability block, actually. Did Titania not take her turn? I thought she did. There we go. We got the Kang Bang, and then everyone's dead. 4 million damage, 4.4 million damage, crit on Morgan Le Fay. Absolute insanity. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a video for this one, but I wanted to share this picture with you anyways. And this one here is Budget Cabal with Magneto and Dormammu in room number 3 against Extreme X-Men. It was about a 60k punch up, but I think this is kind of funny, and I wish I could have seen the video. I'm assuming that they just get blinded by Magneto, and this obviously causes them to miss, because a lot of them do miss, or at least Gambit's going to miss on his ping. And then Dormammu, because of room 3, is going to go into his ultimate. That's the villain room, isn't it? Or is that room number 4? I forget. Anyways, I think it's crazy, because they're not really heavy hitter characters. I know there's not a huge, massive Extreme X-Men. It's only 1.5 million. But still, I find this really impressive regardless, and it's still another usage of Budget Cabal. And so what can I say, guys? I love my Budget Cabal. I know I didn't want to make this all about them, but you know, if you watch my other video, they're really great. I'm so glad I got Leader Unlocked now, finally. And I did get the T4s into a special, like I mentioned. I may do this as well. Like, I guess it's more like, I don't know how many times I'm actually going to get to their skills and whether or not just Kang ends up carrying it. But I suppose I probably should get some of these T4s just in the off chance that I do end up using their skills. Over time, I probably will build them up some more, because I think that, honestly, they're going to be in the game for Crucible for some time, because there's going to be some other OP villains down the line that they're going to synergize better with, you know, after Kang and whatnot. and Mephisto, maybe, who knows, down the line, that are going to keep them relevant. And so I think that they're just really great. I just think it's super great that they can be used at such a low gear tier. Also, some other good characters, standouts that I've seen being mentioned is actually using Vulture, especially if you're not using Vulture in your main Sinister Six lineup alongside with Emma. So I think in that version, you do kind of need them to be higher than kind of budget version. But I have been seeing some other compositions, which is pretty cool to see usage of other characters that's not just Kang or Super Skrull. I see a lot of people using the Kang variant and using Super Skrull just for other things, but I've also seen Cabal plus Super Skrull just barreling into Out of Time and just kind of one-shotting Black Knight. I've also seen the same with Kang, going into Black Knight as well. So I mean, both versions have the potential of doing that, and I think it's just absolutely insane. So just a bit of a compilation kind of Crucible video again for today. Tomorrow we're going to have the blog Friday, of course, and over the weekend we're going to have some more exciting videos on this channel as well. So stay tuned, everyone, and until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.